You stupid black bitch! You think saving some random white woman makes you a hero? Dean Patricia Morrison, white designer suit, dripping diamonds, ripped Emma's hospital papers in half and threw them in her face. You people are like dogs. You don't belong in our university. You skip exams, beg for handouts, then cry racism when we kick you out. I was saving her life. Emma Bradley, 19, black, still in blood-soaked scrubs, could barely speak through tears. Morrison grabbed Emma's scholarship folder and dumped it in the trash. Expelled. Get your black ass out of my office, out of my school. Go back to the streets where you belong. Emma stood there, destroyed, humiliated, broke, staring at 4 years of straight A's in the garbage. But 3 days later, a helicopter landed in Emma's apartment yard. The woman Emma saved stepped out. She was a billionaire's wife, and she came to destroy everyone who hurt Emma. 72 hours earlier, Thursday, 7:23 a.m. Emma's phone alarm screamed. Nursing 401 final exam, 8 a.m. late entry not permitted, 37 minutes. Emma threw on yesterday's scrubs, couldn't afford laundry, grabbed her backpack. On her desk, a photo of 9-year-old Emma with her mother Sarah before the pneumonia that killed her because Mama was too scared of medical bills. I'm gonna make it, Mama, today. Emma ran into November cold. Market Street was packed with commuters. The bus stop was 2 blocks away. She could see the Route 21 approaching. Then she saw her. The woman crumpled against the pharmacy wall, white, 50s, expensive coat dark with blood pooling from her head. iPhone shattered beside her. People walked past. Businessman glanced, kept walking. College students didn't even slow down. Nobody stopped. Emma checked her phone. 7:34 a.m., 6 minutes until the bus. The woman's lips moved. Help! Emma dropped her backpack. She fell to her knees, hands moving through assessment. Ma'am, can you hear me? Pulse weak, thready, pupils unequal, brain bleed, skin cold, clammy, going into shock. Emma dialed 911. This is Emma Bradley, nursing student, unresponsive female, approximately 50, head trauma with active bleeding, unequal pupils, shock symptoms, possible intracranial hemorrhage, market in 15th northwest corner, ambulance is 4 minutes out. 4 minutes. In a brain bleed, 4 minutes meant life or death. A businessman stopped. Is she? Your jacket, now. Emma wrapped it around the woman, preserving body heat. Positioned her head carefully, couldn't risk spinal injury. Ma'am, stay with me. What's your name? The woman's eyes fluttered. Eleanor. Meeting. Daniel. Eleanor. I'm Emma. I'm not leaving you. Emma pressed against the wound. Blood seeped between her fingers. Her scrubs soaked through. Her phone lit up. 7:38 a.m. The bus pulled up to the stop, opened its doors. Waited. Emma didn't look. The doors closed. The bus drove away. The ambulance arrived 6 minutes later. What do we got? The lead paramedic, Rodriguez, knelt beside Emma. Unresponsive female, head trauma, unequal pupils, weak pulse, shock symptoms. 8 minutes ago, based on blood coagulation. I've maintained pressure and monitored vitals. Rodriguez looked at Emma, at the blood on her hands, her face, at the calm in her eyes. You saved her life. Seriously, another 10 minutes and we'd be calling the coroner. The ambulance doors slammed shut. Sirens wailed. Emma stood alone on the sidewalk, blood drying on her hands, phone exploding with messages. Destiny, where are you? Destiny, Prof. Morrison just locked the door. Destiny, Emma, you're missing the exam. The exam had started 4 minutes ago. Emma walked to campus anyway. Harrison Hall, 4th floor, room 402, door closed. Through the window, classmates bent over exams. Professor Morrison at the front desk. Emma knocked. Morrison looked up, saw Emma. Checked her watch, looked back down, kept reading. Emma knocked louder. Morrison opened the door 2 inches. Miss Bradley, you're late. Professor, there was an emergency. A woman was... The exam started at 8. It is now 8:14. Late entry not permitted. You received a 0. But I was performing CPR. That was your choice. Your grade stands. Please leave. The door closed. Emma stood there, numb, staring at blood on her hands. The basement apartment. Emma's roommate Destiny waited anxiously. What happened? Emma explained while washing blood from her shaking hands. Email arrived. Office of the Dean, urgent. Your exam absence resulted in course grade F. You are below minimum 3.0 GPA for scholarship retention. Your presidential scholarship, $28,000 semester is revoked effective immediately. You have 48 hours to appeal or arrange payment. $28,000. Emma had $340 in checking. Destiny grabbed her hand. This is insane. You were saving someone's life. We appeal? Morrison already said no. Policy is policy. Then we go over her head. With what leverage, Destiny? I'm a broke black girl on scholarship. But Emma had to try. Friday, 9 a.m., Dean Morrison's office. Emma sat in a leather chair worth more than her apartment, still wearing blood-stained scrubs. Morrison sat behind a desk the size of Emma's bed, PhD from Harvard on the wall, photo with the governor. Miss Bradley, 3 minutes. Dean Morrison, I'm appealing. Your exam absence, denied. You didn't let me. You missed your final, that is fact. The syllabus states late entry is not permitted under any circumstances. Emma pulled out her phone. I have photos, hospital documentation. The paramedics said I saved her. Personal emergencies require 24-hour advance notice per university policy. How could I give notice? She was dying. You had a choice. Take your exam or assist a stranger. You chose. That choice has consequences. Emma felt tears burning. So if I'd walked past let her die, I'd still have my scholarship? You'd have attended your exam. Policy is policy, Miss Bradley. We cannot make exceptions, even for dramatic circumstances. Otherwise, every student with a story would expect special treatment. This isn't a story, this is someone's life. Your appeal is denied. Arrange tuition by Monday or you'll be withdrawn. This meeting is over. Emma sat frozen. I said this meeting is over. Leave. Emma's mother, Sarah, in the hospital bed. Too thin, too pale. Mama, why didn't you go to the doctor sooner? Baby, we couldn't afford it. 3 days later, Sarah was gone. Pneumonia to sepsis. Treatable if caught early. At the funeral, 9-year-old Emma made a promise. I'm going to be a nurse. Nobody else will wait too long. That promise kept Emma going through 4 years of school, night shifts, living on ramen. That promise was why she stopped for Eleanor. Now it was drowning in $28,000 of debt. Emma called Grandma Loretta from assisted living in Baltimore. Baby, how'd your big exam go? Emma's throat closed. It went fine, Grandma. I knew it. Your mama's looking down, smiling. My grandbaby, about to be a nurse. Emma pressed her hand over her mouth to keep from sobbing. Love you, Grandma. Love you too, baby. Go change the world. Emma hung up and broke down alone. Friday evening. Emma worked her diner shift anyway, needed tips. A customer saw her name tag. Emma, aren't you that girl from the news? He showed his phone. Local Channel 6. Nursing student saves woman's life, faces academic consequences. Someone filmed the ambulance, Emma covered in blood. Posted on TikTok, 3 million views. Comments. This is what heroes look like. University should be ashamed. Why isn't anyone helping her? The customer left $50 tip on a $12 check. You did good, kid. Emma cried in the walk-in freezer. Midnight. Unknown number. Miss Bradley, James Sullivan, attorney for Eleanor Richardson. The woman you saved. She'd like to meet you tomorrow, 10 a.m. Emma's heart stopped. Who is Eleanor Richardson? The woman you performed CPR on. She's recovering well, thanks to you. She saw the news. She knows what happened, and she wants to help. Emma stared at Destiny after hanging up. That was her, the woman I saved. This is your chance. No, I didn't help her for a reward. But maybe the universe is giving you something back. Emma was terrified to hope. Saturday morning, eviction notice under the door, rent overdue, $850 pay by Wednesday or vacate Sunday. Emma lay on the futon calculating impossible math. Tuition, $28,000. Rent, $850. Savings, $390. The numbers didn't work. Her phone buzzed. Text from unknown number. Look outside. Emma walked to the window. The courtyard was chaos, people staring at the sky. Then the sound, rhythmic thunder growing louder. Whoop, 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 whoop! The helicopter descended. The helicopter was sleek, black, expensive. Gold lettering. Richardson Foundation. Rotor wash scattered trash in violent spirals. Kids pointed. Mrs. Rodriguez clutched her rosary. The door opened. Eleanor Richardson stepped out. Blonde hair, bandaged head, elegant coat. Behind her, a man in a suit carrying a briefcase. Eleanor scanned faces, saw Emma in the window. Their eyes met. Eleanor walked straight toward Emma's building. Someone knocked. Emma opened the door, shaking. Eleanor Richardson stood there. Behind her, the suited man. Briefcase read, James Sullivan, attorney. Emma Bradley? Emma nodded, voiceless. May we come in? Emma stepped aside, mortally aware of everything. Peeling paint, thrift store furniture, ramen cups, the single photo taped to the wall. Eleanor looked around, not judging, observing. Eyes lingered on the photo. You have a beautiful smile, Eleanor said softly. Why are you here? Eleanor turned. You saved my life 3 days ago. Then I found out what it cost you. How did you? The news. Social media. I called the university myself. Spoke with Dean Morrison. Emma looked at her feet. Then you know. I'm glad you're okay, but you didn't need to. Emma, do you know who I am? The woman I helped. That's all I need to know. Eleanor smiled, sad, complicated. My name is Eleanor Richardson. My husband Victor founded Richardson Technologies. We have resources. When I found out you lost your scholarship for saving me, Her voice cracked. I couldn't let that stand. Sullivan opened his briefcase. Mrs. Richardson would like to help with tuition. No. Emma shook her head hard. I didn't help you for money. Eleanor's eyes filled with respect. I know. That's why I'm here. Because you sacrificed everything for a stranger. But I'm not offering charity, Emma. I'm offering justice. What? Eleanor pulled out a folder. Emma's university records. Morrison denied your appeal in 42 seconds, never looked at documentation. When I called asking her to reconsider, she told me, and I quote, we don't make policy exceptions, even for dramatic rescue stories. Emma's fists clenched. She called saving my life a dramatic rescue story. Eleanor looked at Emma. So here's what I'm proposing. You don't want charity? Fine. Neither do I. I want to change the system so no other student faces this, but I need your permission. Permission for what? To fight. Publicly, loudly, legally. They punished you for saving me. Let's punish them for punishing you. Emma stared at this billionaire who'd landed a helicopter in her courtyard and saw something unexpected, genuine rage, on her behalf. What would that look like? Sullivan spoke. We file complaints, expose the university's pattern of denying emergency accommodations, especially to students of color. Press conferences, noise, lots of it. And risk destroying any chance at another school, Emma said quietly. Or, Eleanor countered, become the reason the next student doesn't have to choose. Emma looked at the eviction notice, at her revocation email, at the photo of her and Grandma. Go change the world, baby. Okay, let's fight. Eleanor smiled. Good, because I brought a lawyer and I'm not leaving until we have a plan. They sat in Emma's apartment like generals. Sullivan pulled documents. Miss Bradley, your enrollment agreement? Emma found it. Sullivan read, making notes. Standard. The scholarship requires 3.0 GPA. Absence policy says emergencies may be considered with appropriate documentation. That's our opening. Eleanor leaned forward. James, what do we know about Morrison? Sullivan pulled another folder. Dean for 8 years. No major scandals, but... He spread papers. I pulled data on accommodation denials over 5 years, striking pattern. Excel sheets, demographic breakdowns. 52 students denied emergency accommodations. 43 were students of color. 83%, 9 white. Of those 9, 6 received informal makeups never documented. Emma felt sick. They just quietly helped white students? Not ignored, actively punished. Sullivan pulled meeting minutes, FOIA requests. Listen, faculty meeting last year, white student missed exam for car accident. We should be flexible, everyone deserves compassion. 3 weeks later, black student missed exam for apartment evacuation. We can't set precedents. Policy is policy. Eleanor's face went stone cold. Recordings? Audio files, all legal. Sullivan clicked his laptop. She's a good kid. Let's give her a chance. Different meeting. These students need to learn personal responsibility. Same policy, different enforcement, textbook discrimination. Emma's hands shook. I thought I was the only one. You're not. You're just the first with someone powerful enough to make them pay attention. Sullivan closed his laptop. Recommendation. Don't ask for personal exception. Demand systemic change. New policy protecting all students. Independent review of past denials. Emma's scholarship reinstated as settlement. They'll never agree, Emma said. Eleanor smiled, sharp, dangerous. Then we make them. Sullivan called University President Dr. Richard Carver at 9 a.m. Speakerphone. Dr. Carver, James Sullivan, attorney for Eleanor Richardson and Emma Bradley. Regarding Miss Bradley's scholarship revocation, Carver's voice was smooth. Student matters are confidential. Dean Morrison denied Bradley's appeal without reviewing documentation. We have hospital records, paramedic statements, photographic evidence of life-saving CPR. This warrants reconsideration. Our policies are clear. We can't make exceptions. Dr. Carver, ice cold. I'm also calling for Eleanor Richardson, whose foundation donated $50 million to your institution. Mrs. Richardson was the individual whose life Miss Bradley saved. She's deeply concerned. Long pause. I see. We appreciate Mrs. Richardson's recovery. Mrs. Richardson is suspending all future donations pending resolution. Additionally, we're prepared to file Title VI civil rights complaint regarding discriminatory enforcement of absence policies. We have 5 years of data showing systematic racial bias. Papers rustling. Carver's smoothness vanished. That's very serious. It's a very serious problem. Bradley's scholarship reinstated, policy changes implemented, review of past cases. Or we do this publicly with federal investigation. Your choice, 72 hours. Sullivan hung up. Now we wait. Someone leaked the story. Philadelphia Inquirer. Student loses scholarship after saving billionaire's life. CNN. University faces backlash over heartless policy. University's Facebook under siege. That girl is a hero. Racist university punishes black student. Emma's TikTok exploded. 400,000 followers. 8 million views. But comments were vicious too. Playing the race card. Should have called 911 and kept going. Emma stopped reading. President Carver released a statement. We are reviewing Miss Bradley's case and our policies to ensure fairness. We look forward to dialogue with the Richardson Foundation. PR nonsense. No apology, no action. Behind scenes, board meeting. Morrison called in. Trustee Margaret Reynolds. You've created a nightmare. Billionaire threatening $50 million. Students protesting. Media calling us racist. Explain. Morrison defensive. I followed policy. Trustee Howard Langford. Nobody cares. Fix this. Offer her scholarship back. Morrison. If we reverse, we look weak. Every student will expect exceptions. Margaret. Then maybe our policy is the problem. Silence. Carver. Patricia, offer Bradley a makeup exam. Confidentially. Make this go away. Morrison smiled thinly. Of course. Morrison called Emma. Miss Bradley, we've reconsidered. We'll offer a makeup exam. Emma's heart leaped. When? Friday. However, there are conditions. You'll sign an NDA. Refrain from media contact. Accept this as full resolution. We'll consider scholarship reinstatement after you pass. Consider? The committee will review, but we need assurances this matter is closed. No more press, social media, complications. You want me quiet. I want you to move forward. If I don't sign, Morrison's voice went cold. Original decision stands. You're expelled. And frankly, with disciplinary issues and failed course, other universities won't be eager to accept a transfer. Threat clear. Take this or never be a nurse anywhere. Emma hung up without answering. Emma stared at the NDA Morrison emailed. Shut up or lose everything. Destiny came home. What's wrong? They offered a makeup. If I sign an NDA, promise to never talk about this. What will you do? Emma thought about her mother, Grandma, the 51 other students denied and silenced, about the next Emma Bradley. She called Eleanor. They offered a deal. Makeup if I stay quiet. Will you take it? What happens if I don't? We fight harder, go public, demand real change. But Emma, it'll get worse. They'll attack your character, try to destroy you. And if I sign, you get your degree, move on, no one would blame you. Emma thought about 9-year-old her at Mama's funeral. I'm gonna help people, no matter what. I'm not signing. Eleanor's voice filled with something fierce. Then let's show them what a mistake they made. Eleanor's press conference, 10 a.m. Emma beside her, terrified. Cameras everywhere. Richardson Foundation podium. Eleanor spoke. 3 weeks ago, nursing student Emma Bradley saved my life. I had a brain aneurysm, collapsed on a street. Dozens walked past. Emma stopped. She missed her exam, her scholarship, her future, her promise to her dying mother, and saved my life. Pause. Silence. University of Pennsylvania expelled her. When I investigated, I found worse than one bad decision. I found a pattern a system that chews up students of color while protecting privileged students. Eleanor looked at cameras. You want to know what I learned bleeding on that sidewalk? Kindness should never cost more than cruelty. Right now, at this university, it does. Today, I'm announcing the Compassionate Action Scholarship, $10 million for students who face consequences for helping others. Emma will be first, but more. We're demanding policy changes so no student chooses between saving a life and their future. Reporter, are you suing? Not yet, but if they don't act, absolutely. Emma stepped forward, hands shaking. I didn't help Mrs. Richardson for money. I helped because she was dying. That's what nurses do. If this university thinks that was wrong, then I don't want to be part of a system that teaches students to walk past dying people. Explosion. By Wednesday afternoon, #Justice for Emma was trending nationwide. Emma's phone exploded. Interview requests from Good Morning America, CNN, everyone. University Instagram was a war zone. I'm a nurse and this makes me sick. Alumni, not donating another cent. Expel the dean, not the hero. Thursday morning, 200 students walked out. Signs everywhere. Kindness isn't a crime. We stand with Emma. Professor Maria Rivera spoke through a megaphone. We teach students to save lives first. Then this university punishes Emma for doing exactly that? Hypocrisy. The crowd roared. 40 professors signed an open letter demanding reform. Pennsylvania NAACP called the action systematic discrimination. Sullivan released the data report. 5 years of denial, how one university's fair policy harmed students of color. Charts, audio, meeting minutes, viral. Carver tried damage control. We are committed to fairness. Independent review initiated. We value Miss Bradley's heroism. Nobody bought it. Board scheduled emergency meeting for Monday. Emma was invited to speak. Eleanor visited Friday evening. Found Emma having a panic attack. I can't do this. Everyone's watching. What if I mess up? Eleanor sat beside her, took her hand. Emma, breathe. You already did the hard part. You stopped when everyone walked past. Everything else is just noise. Emma focused. In, out, in, out. What if they don't change anything? Then we tried. And trying matters. Eleanor squeezed her hand. But they're going to change. Everyone's watching now. They can't hide. Emma wanted to believe. Monday, she'd find out. Friday afternoon, Dean Morrison decided to go to war. She pulled Emma's entire academic file. 4 years of records. Started digging for ammunition. Morrison found it everywhere, spinning carefully. Sophomore year. Paper 12 hours late. Professor accepted it. Grandma hospitalized. Morrison's note? Pattern of disregard for deadlines. Junior year. Emma questioned test question. Professor agreed, changed answer key. Morrison's note. Argumentative toward faculty. Freshman year. Parking ticket, unpaid, didn't own a car, dismissed later. Morrison's note. Disrespect for rules. She interviewed faculty. Selected questions carefully. Professor Collins, Miss Bradley's classroom demeanor? Thomas Collins, 63, white, considered. Assertive, sometimes challenges material. Morrison wrote, aggressive, confrontational. Did she request special accommodations? Once, wanted more diverse case studies, said something about representation. Morrison wrote, demand special treatment, identity politics. 20 pages of concerns about Emma's character. Morrison scheduled academic standards review for Monday morning. Didn't tell Emma it would be formal. Didn't mention panel. Didn't warn her to bring representation. Let's see how your billionaire helps now. Emma arrived thinking routine meeting. Walked into conference room. 5 people at table. Morrison, 3 faculty, University Legal Counsel. Emma froze. What is this? Academic Standards Review Board hearing. Please sit. We need to discuss concerns about your enrollment. Emma sat, heart hammering. Pulled out phone to text Eleanor. Phone's away. Confidential proceeding. Emma put phone down, face down. Morrison opened her dossier. Miss Bradley, you've demonstrated a pattern of behavioral issues. What issues? Multiple late submissions, questioning faculty authority, unpaid fines, requests for special accommodations. That late paper was because my grandmother was hospitalized. We're not debating incidents. We're examining the pattern. What pattern? My GPA is 3.8. Legal counsel spoke. Academic performance isn't our sole concern. Character matters. Emma felt dizzy. Collins cleared throat. I had Miss Bradley in 2 courses, bright but combative, questions grades, curriculum, certain entitlement. Entitlement? Emma's voice cracked. I asked for diverse case studies because the textbook had 0 black patients. You demanded special changes for personal views, Collins said. I asked for better education. Morrison held up hand. Miss Bradley, control your tone. This outburst demonstrates exactly the behavior we're discussing. Emma looked around. 5 white faces, all disapproving. This was a setup. Morrison leaned forward. We're offering an option. Withdraw voluntarily. We'll seal records with neutral notation. Personal reasons. Reapply elsewhere without this complication. You want me to quit? We want to resolve this gracefully. What if I don't? Morrison's smile was thin, sharp. We proceed with formal dismissal for conduct violations. Those appear on future records, background checks. You'll be marked disciplinary dismissal. Most nursing programs won't accept that. You're blackmailing me. We're offering professional exit, legal counsel said smoothly. The board hearing is in 6 hours. This is retaliation. This is standard review. Timing is coincidental. Bullshit. Morrison's face hardened. You have 24 hours. Sign voluntary withdrawal, or we proceed with formal dismissal. Concluded. Emma stood on shaking legs, grabbed phone, left, hallway, finally breathed. 3 missed calls from Eleanor. Called back. Emma, where are you? They ambushed me, built a whole case, made me sound like a problem student. They want me to withdraw or they'll formally expel me for conduct violations and destroy any chance at another school. Silence. Then Eleanor, ice cold. Where are you? Outside Morrison's office. Stay there. I'm sending Sullivan. Don't sign anything. Emma, they just made this so much worse for themselves. Emma sat on bench outside administration, waiting for Sullivan. Students whispered, pointed, phone buzzed. Grandma Loretta. Hi, Grandma? Baby, I saw you on TV, so proud. Grandma, I can't... Emma's throat closed. What's wrong? Emma told everything. The ambush. The choice, quit or be destroyed. Loretta was quiet. Your mama used to say the right thing and the easy thing are rarely the same. She said that before she died. She knew she should have gone to the doctor. But she said, at least I can tell Emma I tried. Emma was crying. I don't know if I can keep trying. It's too hard. Then stop. I won't love you any less, baby. You've done more than anyone should. But you can't change the world if you break yourself trying. But what about the other students? Baby, whatever you decide, I'm proud. Emma hung up, sat torn in two. Part of her wanted to sign, transfer, finish quietly, live. But another part, sounding like mama, like grandma, like 9-year-old her, said, not yet. Don't give up yet. Sullivan arrived 15 minutes later. Show me everything. Emma gave him her phone, notes. Sullivan read, jaw tightening. This is witness intimidation. They're scaring you into silence before the hearing. Won't work in court, but they're hoping you won't go that far. Can they actually expel me? Technically, maybe they'd have to prove legitimate misconduct. But most of what Morrison cited is false or out of context. A good lawyer could shred this. What do I do? What do you want? Emma thought about her mother, about Eleanor in the helicopter, about every silent student before her. I want to fight. Then we fight. Eleanor Richardson sat with husband Victor in her penthouse. They're trying to destroy her, fabricating violations, threatening her future. Victor looked up from Sullivan's report. This is bad. Maybe we should what? Let them win? I'm saying maybe Emma's had enough. We started this war. I've spent 30 years writing checks, endowing scholarships, sitting on boards, feeling like I made a difference. You have? No. I've made myself feel better. The system's never changed. They just got better at hiding cruelty. She turned to Victor. If I walk away now, what was the point of her saving me? What will you do? Something I should have done years ago. Eleanor pulled out phone. Stop asking politely, she called Sullivan. James, release everything. Full data, audio recordings, every discriminatory case from 5 years, all of it. Sullivan hesitated. Eleanor, that's nuclear. Good. I don't want to come back. I want to burn down every system that lets people like Morrison thrive. Do it. She hung up, looked at Victor. I'm done playing nice. 3 p.m. Monday, Sullivan released the full report to every media outlet. Systematic discrimination. University of Pennsylvania's fair policies mask racial bias. Devastating. Asterisk 68 students denied accommodations. 5 years asterisk 82% students of color asterisk white students got informal accommodations. 6x the rate asterisk average denial, 0.8 days for students of color versus 3.2 days for white students asterisk audio of faculty using biased language media detonation immediate. CNN breaking. Audio reveals racial bias in university enforcement. MSNBC. New data shows systematic discrimination. Audio clips viral. Faculty discussing appeals. He's a good kid, good family. Let's work with him. White student missed exam for family trip. She needs to learn responsibility, not doing favors. Black student missed exam for grandmother's funeral. Social media erupted. This is proof, not feeling discriminated. Actual racism. Everyone who said Emma played race card, listen. University phone lines crashed. Carver's office under siege. 4 p.m. students acted. Started with nursing students, Emma's classmates, professors. They walked out carrying signs. We are all Emma Bradley, pre-med joined. Political science, education, law. By 4:30, 800 students on administration steps. Professor Rivera with megaphone. We teach students to save lives. Then this institution punishes Emma Bradley for embodying everything we value. Crowd roared. This data shows what black students have known. The system is rigged. Policy is code for discrimination. Chanting. Justice for Emma. News helicopters circled, story everywhere. Inside, panic. Carver watched from window, pale. Sir, Board of Trustees convening emergency session. 30 minutes. Carver nodded slowly. How did this get so out of control? Eleanor stood at crowd's back watching. Emma beside her, overwhelmed, terrified, amazed. I didn't want this. You're not the center, Eleanor said gently. Look, this isn't about you anymore. It's about every student they crushed. You gave them voice. Keisha Williams from NAACP pushed through, phone to ear. Eleanor, Department of Education opened formal investigation, Title VI. University has 30 days to respond or face federal sanctions. Eleanor's eyes widened. That fast? Data was irrefutable. With media attention they can't ignore. Keisha looked at Emma. Holding up? I don't know. They tried to make me withdraw this morning. Conduct violations. Keisha's expression hardened. Textbook retaliation. We can file separate complaint. I just want to finish school, be a nurse. Then let's make sure you can. Keisha pulled out tablet. Board hearing tonight, 7 p.m., moved up, probably hoping to handle before protest grows. Emma, you need to speak. Tell your story once more. Emma looked at the crowd. Signs, students chanting her name. I can't do this alone. You're not alone, Eleanor said. That's the point. Board emergency meeting. Trustee Margaret Reynolds slammed folder. 82%. How did none of us see this? We trusted Morrison. Trustee Langford started. Morrison is suspended, President Carver interrupted, as of 2 hours ago. Silence. You suspended her without board approval? Langford asked. Didn't have choice. Media calling for heads, DOE investigating, donors pulling funding. We're hemorrhaging money and credibility. Trustee Daniel Foster leaned forward. Public hearing in 90 minutes. What's our plan? Carver looked around. We offer Bradley full reinstatement, formal apology, policy changes, independent review board. That's capitulation, Langford protested. That's survival, Margaret shot back. We don't have leverage. Data's out, audio's out. We either get ahead or get destroyed. Langford's face red. Dangerous precedent. The dangerous precedent is what we've already set. Punishing students of color for things we excuse in white students. That precedent ends now. Carver looked sick. Vote. All in favor of full reinstatement and immediate policy suspension? 8 hands. 3 remained down. Langford and 2 others. Motion passes. But Carver knew the real battle was beginning. Emma sat in side room trying to prepare, hands shaking. Eleanor beside her. Sullivan reviewing notes. Destiny holding Emma's hand. I can't do this. I'll forget everything. Emma. Eleanor faced her. You don't need perfect speech, just truth, that's all. What if truth isn't enough? Then we tried, but Emma, it will be. Everyone's watching, they can't hide. Knock. University official. It's time. Emma stood on shaking legs. Destiny squeezed her hand. Go change the world. Emma took a breath. Walked into the hearing room. The auditorium was packed. 500 people crammed in a space for 300. Cameras everywhere, live streams on every phone. Board of trustees on stage like judges. 12 faces, mostly white, mostly old, mostly uncomfortable. Chair Langford took the microphone. This hearing is called to order. We're addressing concerns regarding emergency accommodation policies and Miss Emma Bradley's case. We value transparency, someone shouted. Justice for Emma! Crowd erupted. Justice for Emma! Langford waited. 2 minutes for silence. We'll hear testimony from multiple parties. I ask for civility. Emma sat front row, frozen. Eleanor's hand on her shoulder. University lawyer William Brennan stood, smooth, confident. Our policies apply equally to all students regardless of race, gender, or background. Miss Bradley's case, while unfortunate, doesn't indicate systematic bias. Every student held to same standard. PowerPoint slide. Past year, we granted 12 emergency accommodations. Keisha Williams stood. How many denied? Brennan paused. That's not relevant. Answer. Langford intervened. Miss Williams, hold questions for testimony period. 68 denied, Keisha said to crowd, not Langford. 82% were students of color. Those are the numbers they're hiding. Audience erupted. Langford gavelled. Brennan's speech fell apart. He sat. Eleanor walked to microphone. Absolute silence. She looked small on stage. Simple black slacks, white blouse, scar visible on her head. Eleanor gripped podium. My name is Eleanor Richardson. 3 weeks ago, I was dying on a Philadelphia sidewalk. Voice steady, clear. I had a brain aneurysm. I collapsed, bleeding out. Dozens of people walked past, checked phones, kept walking, like I was invisible. People leaning forward. Then Emma Bradley stopped. She missed her final exam. The exam that meant keeping her scholarship, staying in school, becoming the nurse she'd promised her dying mother. She stopped. And she saved my life. Voice broke slightly. Doctors told me I had maybe 15 minutes. Brain bleeds don't wait. Emma gave me those 15 minutes. This university punished her for it. She looked at board. I've spent 30 years donating to institutions like this, writing checks, feeling like I made a difference. But I wasn't. I was enabling systems that protect people like me and crush people like Emma. Eleanor held up data report. 82%. That's how many students of color were denied compared to white students. Same policies, different enforcement. That's not fairness. That's discrimination with a syllabus. Pause. Let it sink in. You want to know what I learned bleeding on that sidewalk? Kindness should never cost more than cruelty. Right now, at this university, it does. It costs scholarships, futures, everything. Eyes blazing. Here's what I'm demanding. Reinstate Emma Bradley immediately. Suspend current policy. Review every denial from 5 years. Create independent oversight board run by students, not administrators. And if you don't, Richardson Foundation pulls every dollar, 50 million current, 100 million planned, gone. And I'll personally fund legal challenges to every discriminatory decision. She stepped back. Auditorium exploded in applause. Students came to microphone one by one, each with a story proving Emma wasn't alone. Maya Gonzalez, Latina Jr., missed organic chemistry final donating bone marrow to my sister. 8 weeks notice, documentation, denied, failed, lost pre-med track, no one cared. Tyler Anderson, Latino senior. 5 minutes late, stopped campus suicide attempt. Security statement, locked out, failed course, extra semester, cost me job offer. Ashley Monroe, white senior. I need to speak. I missed exam junior year. Family emergency, no documentation. Professor emailed, take it whenever. No process, no penalties. I'm white. Didn't know others weren't getting same treatment until Emma's story. Voice shook. I'm ashamed. I benefited from a system I didn't know existed. That's white privilege. That's what we're talking about. Confession hit harder than accusations. More students, more stories, undeniable pattern. Emma stood, walked a microphone on water legs, 500 watching, cameras everywhere, bored staring. Emma gripped podium, tried to speak. Nothing. Tried again. I didn't want any of this. Whisper. Tech booth turned up mic. I just wanted to be a nurse, that's all. Emma looked at her hands, remembering blood, pressure, Eleanor's weak pulse. My mom Sarah died when I was 9. Pneumonia to sepsis. She waited too long, scared of bills. I watched her die because she was poor. Tears now. Emma didn't stop. I promised at her funeral, 9 years old, I'd become a nurse, so nobody else would wait. So nobody else would die from being poor. Looked at bored. When I saw Mrs. Richardson on that sidewalk, I saw my mom. Every person who dies because nobody stops. Because everyone's too busy, too scared, too selfish. Voice stronger. I knew I'd miss my exam, knew what it'd cost, but I can't live in a world where my degree matters more than someone's life. If that's what this university teaches, I don't want to be here. Hands gripped podium, knuckles white. But I'm not fighting for me. I'm fighting for the next student who has to choose. For Maya, who lost pre-med saving her sister. For Tyler, who stopped a suicide and failed. For every student you crushed for having courage to help. Directly at Langford. Fix your policy. Not for me. I'll survive. Fix it for every student coming after. Fix it because lives matter more than rules. Fix it because if you don't, you're teaching students to walk past dying people to protect grades. And if that's your lesson, this institution doesn't deserve to exist. Emma stepped back. Auditorium erupted, students on feet cheering, crying, faculty applauding, some board members moved. Emma walked back, shaking so hard she could barely stand. Eleanor caught her. "You did it, perfect!" Langford gavelled. 5 minutes for order. "Board will deliberate," Margaret Reynolds stood. "No. We vote now. Public vote." Langford looked furious. "That's not—" "I move for immediate policy suspension and full reinstatement of Emma Bradley's scholarship, effective immediately." "Second," Daniel Foster said. Langford trapped. Cameras rolling, crowd watching. All in favor? 9 hands. Opposed? 2 hands, Langford and 1 other. Motion passes. Auditorium exploded. Carver stood defeated. Effective immediately, University of Pennsylvania suspends current emergency absence policy. We're implementing compassionate action protocol. Students who miss obligations to assist in documented emergencies receive automatic accommodation. Cheers, tears, hugging. We're establishing independent review board, majority student and faculty to examine all past denials. More applause. Carver looked at Emma. "We extend formal apology to Miss Emma Bradley and all students harmed. Miss Bradley, your full scholarship is reinstated with back payment for expenses." Emma sat stunned. Over. She'd won. Side room. Emma and Eleanor alone. "You changed the system," Eleanor said. Emma shook her head. "We did. No, you saved my life. Everything else was returning the favor." Silence. "Emma, board asked me to join as trustee. Oversee reforms." "That's perfect." I said no. Emma looked up, shocked. "Why?" Eleanor sat beside her. "Because I've spent 30 years on boards. Writing checks. Feeling important. Nothing fundamentally changed. Same systems crushing same people. Better PR." Took Emma's hand. "Real change doesn't come from billionaires supervising. It comes from people like you, people with actual stakes, having power. So Richardson Foundation is creating new fund, $50 million for legal defense, scholarships, advocacy, run by students and affected communities, not by me." Emma's eyes filled. "Will you join the board? Equal vote with everyone, including me." Yes, Eleanor smiled. "Good, because we have work to do." Spring semester. Emma walked into nursing ethics class. Professor Wilson, new, young, idealistic. "Today we're discussing real-world ethical dilemmas. Emma, you've lived through a public example. Share your perspective." All eyes turned. "It wasn't a dilemma. Someone was dying. I stopped. That's what you do. But it cost you—" "No, it cost me a scholarship I got back. Cost me sleep, stress, fear. But didn't cost my humanity. If I'd walked past Mrs. Richardson, I'd have passed my exam and failed myself." Silence. Student raised hand. "Do you regret it?" Emma smiled. "Never. Not for 1 second. Different day. Tyler Anderson in statistics final." Phone buzzed. Emergency, brother in hospital. Looked at Professor, conflicted. Professor saw his face. "Tyler, go. Family first. Take the exam next week. No appeals, no paperwork, no punishment, just humanity. New policy working." Every Friday, Emma and Eleanor met at cafe in Emma's neighborhood. Eleanor always came to her. 863 applications, Eleanor showed tablet. Compassionate Action Scholarship, read these stories. Emma scrolled. Asterisk, student helped during wildfire evacuation. Asterisk, student intervened in domestic violence. Asterisk, student stayed with car accident victim, all punished, all now supported. "There are so many," Emma whispered. "There always were. We finally see them." Eleanor squeezed her hand. "And we're helping. We have so much work to do. Good thing we're not alone." Emma walked to clinical rotation at Philadelphia General, past Market and 15th, the spot where she found Eleanor. Someone painted small mural on pharmacy wall, hands reaching out. Underneath, kindness was here. Emma touched the wall, smiled, kept walking, saw elderly woman struggling with groceries, breathing hard. Emma didn't hesitate. "Ma'am, let me help." Woman's face lit with relief. Oh, thank you. Most people just walk past. Emma took bags, walked her 3 blocks, made her 15 minutes late. Supervisor smiled. Good work, Bradley. That's what nurses do. Sunday. Emma took train to Baltimore. Grandma Loretta's new facility was nicer. Emma's stipend helped. Loretta's room had news clippings taped up. Emma at hearing, Emma with Eleanor, policy change headlines. Baby, your mama's looking down, smiling so big. Emma curled beside her grandmother. I'm graduating in May, Grandma. Top of my class, job offer, pediatric emergency room at Children's Hospital. Emergency room? That's hard. That's where people need help most, where seconds matter, where stopping makes the difference. Loretta understood. You're going to be the nurse who stops. Emma smiled. I already am, Grandma. 1 year later, montage, University of Pennsylvania, new policy working. Students helping without fear. America, 43 universities adopted compassionate action protocols. News, movement begun by 1 student spreads nationwide. Legislatures, 3 states passed Student Good Samaritan Protection Acts. Map, change spreading. Emma, now RN, got off shift at Children's Hospital. Bust home, better neighborhood, shared with Destiny in law school. Heard familiar sound. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Looked up, laughing. Helicopter descended, same one from a year ago. Neighbors cheered, kids waved. Mrs. Rodriguez. Eleanor Esta Acqui. Community-painted landing zone, Eleanor's spot in yellow. Door opened. Eleanor stepped out, grinning, carrying folder. Emma walked over. Normal people text. Where's the fun? Eleanor hugged her. News that requires dramatic delivery. Handed Emma folder. Congress votes next month on Federal Student Good Samaritan Act. Your Senate testimony pushed it through committee. Emma, this is going national. Emma stared, tears forming. I thought we were just changing one school. You changed the conversation. National policy follows consciousness. You created that. Eleanor took her hand. Come on, celebration dinner. Victor's bringing Daniel. Destiny's meeting us. Grandma Loretta's on video. Emma looked around. At courtyard, neighbors, painted spot. Eleanor. At the life that started when she made one choice on a cold Thursday. Stop or keep running. She'd stopped and changed everything. Emma looked at camera, hospital badge on scrubs. If you're watching, you'll face a choice like mine. You'll see someone who needs help. And you'll have somewhere else to be. Leaned forward. Here's what I learned. The world changes when ordinary people refuse to walk past. When someone stops, when everyone keeps going. Smiled. Be the person who stops. The Compassionate Action Foundation has helped 863 students nationwide. 43 universities adopted protection policies. Federal Student Good Samaritan Act pending because Emma Bradley stopped running. Emma's story started with one choice, to stop when everyone walked past. It ended with national policy change and hundreds of students protected. What would you have done? Drop a comment. If this moved you, subscribe, because there are more stories like Emma's that need telling. Stories about ordinary people creating extraordinary change. See you next time.